Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match reaction. Bournemouth 0, Everton 1. What a result and what a change from Saturday where the Toffees were well beaten by Newcastle United. But as we found out in David Moyes' first spell as Everton manager, his teams normally follow a really poor performance with a much improved one. And tonight was an excellent performance by Everton. Going to the South Coast, a ground where we've never won at in the Premier League, and turning in a brilliant performance with limited options, really, the amount of players we had out, and going and doing an absolutely brilliant job on Bournemouth. Everton the better side, almost from the first whistle to the last whistle. Bournemouth obviously always carried the threat. Semenyo, fantastic player. Really, Alex Scott in midfield, worked hard. But Everton just looked a better team all night, and it's something to really build on again. But we said this a week ago against Manchester United, another ground we never win at, where we won last week. So, can we follow it up on Saturday at Hill Dickinson against Nottingham Forest? But that's days away. Let's enjoy tonight. We found life comes at you hard and fast on Saturday against Newcastle. So let's enjoy this one. But for tonight, there was obviously limited options for the manager, and that was even complicated further by Michael Keane being injured and unavailable. It meant Jake O'Brien went into his preferred position at centre-back, and he was absolutely excellent there, I must say. James Garner went to right-back. He was excellent there. Looks every bit a right-back. James Garner, simple as that. And Charlie Alcaraz came into midfield, and exactly how he should have done. And I think, Tim Bournemouth didn't have a great 45 minutes against Newcastle at the weekend, but tonight has to be a little bit more disciplined and playing there alongside my man of the match, Dewsbury Hall. And he did so ever so well and worked the socks off. And that's all you can ask. Lads come in. Can they take the chance? They have to work hard and do it. And it's exactly what he did tonight. He was very good. And then Tierney Barry, another strong performance from him. He's had his first shot on target registered, forcing a good save in the second half from the keeper, but linked the play, won a lot in the air, held it up really well, and gave Everton a platform to build from. The game, like I said, started off quite brightly. Everton got the foot on the ball, looked first to every ball, very much like the way we did do it sort of Old Trafford and the way we did do at Sunderland. It was a similar theme, and I'd like to see this energy at home as well. But we got on the front foot and really unsettled Bournemouth, and it was only really the final third. The play, some of the approach play was excellent. We were winning second balls. We were nicking the first ball, pressing really well. But just the delivery on the final ball was the thing that was missing certainly in the first half, and missing in general throughout the game. I think if Everton can improve that, and I don't know whether you can, but with talented players like Jack Grealish, Iliman and Jai, we should be better with the ball in those moments in the final third. Then we will score more goals, we'll win more games, and we'll play better football. And that's exactly what we did tonight. We mixed it when we had to. We went long when we had to, because Tierney Barry was the option and really good in the air. And we had some lovely interchangeable football. Carlos Alcaraz, very good. Linking it, sometimes he gives a cheap ball away because he's trying to force a pass, he's trying to create something. You expect that with your front players, that they will give the ball away. Iliman and Jai was guilty of it many times in the first half, as well as the good stuff that he does. But that's them trying to be creative, and like I say, if we can start creating opportunities for Tierney Barry, then the first goal won't be long in coming. The one he is absolutely crying out for. Jordan Pickford had to be alive to the referee, after make a comment about the referee, because I thought he was shocking all night. I thought he was the classic homer all night. He gave Bournemouth a lot of decisions that were 50-50. He let Adley do about 6 fouls and no booking. And then later on in the second half, he booked Evan Nielsen, who didn't actually touch James Garner. But I thought he had a little bit of a poor game, the referee. And luckily, it wasn't to Everton's detriment in the end. But Jordan Pickford didn't have that much to do in the first 45 minutes. Had to stay lively for one free kick. Ball came in, it dropped down, and Semenyo, quick as a flash, great control, stabbed it goalwards, and Pickford had to be alert and parried it. Other than that, he had very little to do at all. Bournemouth offered hardly anything going forward. And they were the ones having to do last-ditch defending. I think Everton had quite a few attempts at goal in the first half without registering one on target. We did hit the post, Tieno Barry, off a header off a corner, an in-swinger by James Garner. The goalkeeper got something on it. It's Barry's head, it's the post, it's the goalie, and stays out somehow. And it's just like that for him at the moment. I know people will question him. Strikers are judged purely on goals. I think link play, really good. I think he's looking more confident. He's picking a ball up and running at people. But people will always look at numbers of goals for centre forwards. It's what we all do, and he needs that goal. But he has been a little bit, unfortunate, hasn't he? He had the goal against Fulham disallowed because Njai was offside. He had the goal against Newcastle at the weekend disallowed because of it accidentally hit his hand as he went for the header. He's had that tonight in the first half, which could have gone anywhere, and he's just looking for something to break for him, but at least he's putting in strong performances through the middle. We went in 0-0 at the break. Bournemouth had a goal disallowed right on half-time, correctly. The lad is miles offside as he taps it in through a deflection. But that will have served as a bit of a warning to Everton, because, like I said, they had the Semenyo effort. Other than that, they'd had very little. And then, quick as a flash, a quick break, and the ball was across and turned in. QPR, I think it was turning it in. But he was offside. When you look back at it, it was the correct decision. He was quite a way off. Came out for the second half. You are disappointed when you've been in control. I think Everton had something like 7 shots to 1 in the first 45 minutes, but none on target. So you're hoping that we can have a little bit more quality in the second half. We came out and got on top again straight away at the start of the second half, and we always carry the threat. I think that's the only way I can really say it. We've had moments, and again got ourselves in really good situations. Couldn't find the man, the right one at the right time. Didn't shoot when it was on, which is always frustrating. But there was a moment where Tieno Barry, I think his eyes lit up. It looked as though he was about to get his first goal. Good build-up play. Alcaraz gets it back. He takes a touch. The ball runs just a bit too quickly. The keeper's out smartly, and he tries to dink it over him. And he does dink it, but it hits Petrovic's shoulder and goes out for a corner. He was really unlucky. A little bit, couple of inches more, and it's just clipped it into the net, and he would have been, he'd have probably been in, sat with the Evertonians, who were fantastic again, could hear their voices all night. Ridiculously long trip to make on a Tuesday night in December. Cold weather, and they've gone down and sang the heart out. Fantastic. He then lashed one over Barry, but he was looking a real threat, and like I say, Everton, every time we broke, looked like we might do something. But we did finally make the breakthrough. Alcaraz doing really well. We, breaking play up. We get it to Alcaraz. He skips through, bends it round the defender into Jack Grealish's path. Grealish goes on. The thing we've been asking him to do, just get it out your feet and hit it. Gets it out of his feet, slips, hits it. It takes a big deflection, goes in. It was on target. Might have caught the keeper out on his near post, but it's in the corner of the net. Jack Grealish is in with the Evertonians. There's delirium, pandemonium in that away end, and we take the lead, and it was no more than we deserved. And again, you look at it and think some of our approach play has been really good, and that's how we've had to break the deadlock. But they all count, and I think Tieno Barry is praying he gets something like that to get him off the mark. But the manager then made a couple of changes. He brought on Beto for Barry, and Dwight McNeil came on for Alcaraz. And those lads had a job to do as well, and they did. They both looked knackered 5 minutes after coming on. So maybe a little bit of a bit more work on the training ground, but both put the effort in. Beto, I just think, needs to learn the smarts of football a little bit more. When we're 1-0 up in injury time, you get the ball, you go to the corner flag, you drive to the corner flag with the ball, put them under pressure. But look, listen, we defended everything we had to defend. They made changes. They brought Evan Nielsen on at 0-0. They ended up bringing Enes on. They were really pushing on for it. Tavernier came on as well, trying to stretch Everton. But the back four had dealt with everything. James Garner looks such an accomplished player at right back. Jake O'Brien and Tarkowski just look solid at the back. Very good night for him. He'll have allayed any fears, I think, to David Moyes, and plays like that, then Michael Keane and Jarrod Brantwaite will have a tough night, you know, a tough time trying to get back in. So it was excellent from him. And Jordan Pickford was calm when he needed to be and done everything he needed to do. So brilliant result. Dewsbury Hall, magnificent again for me. Absolutely everywhere. Winning the ball back, winning things, linking the play, almost creating opportunities. I think Irabunum actually led the way with the tackles. I think he had 7 tackles tonight, which is an excellent performance from him. And he done really well. He got that booking in the first half, which obviously puts him out of the game at the weekend. So it gives the manager another headache to have to deal with for Saturday. But he gave a really mature display after that, because he could have lost his head and we could have been down to 10 then. But they all dug in, and I'm absolutely thrilled that we've won this game. You know, 3 points off a Champions League place now. And that's the right area of the table we want to be looking at. But it's a great result to grind out. Like I said, never won at the Vitality since Bournemouth come up. And we've gone through Manchester United and Bournemouth in 8 days and won at both of them. You know, and okay, the Newcastle game was a terrible performance, an off day for everyone. Things went wrong, but they've bounced back, the lads tonight and the manager, and they all deserve massive credit. So outstanding performance, outstanding result, and it's roll on Saturday. But as a Toffee, just enjoy the next few days, because we saw Saturday, it comes and smacks you like a wet fish. And who else? That wet fish is in the shape of Sean Dyche at the weekend. So let's enjoy the next few days and see what the weekend brings to us. But what a result for Everton. Dewsbury Hall, my man at the match. Up the Toffees. See you later.